How am I making someone's brain as I'm sitting here? Like, how am I forming someone's heart? How am I forming someone's spine as I'm sitting here, like literally talking to you guys? Like, that's crazy. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. This is my first trimester recap. I'm currently 4 weeks, so I'm gonna just be going week by week, telling you guys what my experience is, what my symptoms are at that point in time. I do have everything listed in a note here so that I don't forget anything. Without rambling on too much, let's get into my 4-week recap. I'm currently 4 weeks? I'm currently 5 weeks exactly today. And I found out 4 days ago. So today's Friday, I found out on Monday. And I was 4 weeks and 3 days when I found out, and I'm currently 5 weeks today. So just to recap my symptoms, I haven't really had any symptoms that sort of shout out I'm pregnant. The only symptom that I've been experiencing, and I just thought it was a me thing and a winter thing, is I have the worst fatigue. Like literally, I am at the place where I need to take a nap sometime during the day, or else like I literally crash at some time during the day. So and even waking up in the morning, like it's such a struggle waking up. Like I'll wake up early, but just to get out of bed is a whole other mission. So I've been finding that I'm a lot more tired, and unfortunately I can't boost myself with Red Bull as I would usually do if I was experiencing extreme fatigue. So yeah, literally always need to sleep. Even if I do have like my daily nap, I can still sleep like a baby at night. Like literally dialala dialala throughout the night. I want to always be in bed. I always want to be lying down, and that's just what's happening currently now. And then another thing that I've noticed, this actually started like yesterday, maybe the day before. I'm uncomfortable in bed. Like my hips, they don't hurt. I don't want to say I've got pain, but I just feel uncomfortable. Like my hips feel like they need to open up, and my back kind of has these little twinges of uncomfort. But I don't want to say it's pain as yet. I'm not experiencing like any extreme pain anyway in my body. I don't feel sick at all currently, knock on wood. That's gonna carry on. I feel great. It's just the fatigue aspect of it. And then another thing that I've noticed, and this has just been me for the past like 2 or so weeks, is like I really just can't be bothered with food right now. Like food, like normal food, like I just can't be bothered. Like I can't, so I have to like break up my meals. I eat in bits and pieces, so I always need to have snacks around the house, because when I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Okay, when I'm hungry, eat into my or else I'm passing out literally. So I always need to have snacks. Luckily then solo ikona is salad in the fridge, because we are on our healthy kick. If you watched the last video, you'll know that I'm doing 75 soft, or was doing 75 soft. I don't know if I'm carrying on with it, but I'll carry on as much as I'm able. So yeah, I always have something in the fridge. I always have fruit, snacks, anything that I can just sort of grab quickly and eat quickly. That's currently how my meals are working right now. All I want is just, nuggets, nuggets, fish cakes, fish fingers, just easy snacks, and not like proper meals. I've also been craving a lot of seafood lately, and I've noticed that I've been craving this for 2 weeks now. I always want prawns. I always want prawns. I always want seafood. I always want fish. And if you know me, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of the fish. But I've been literally craving fish for the longest time. But obviously, I need to be careful when it comes to fish, so that Dietary fish that is not high in mercury, because that could build up in my bloodstream and be dangerous for the baby. So I'm being very careful when it comes to the type of fish that I'm taking in, and also making sure that it's overcooked. Yes, it's not as tasty and as juicy, but I'm just making sure that I'm safe. Even like my chicken, I ensure that it's boiled at the right temperature and it's overcooked, rather than having it undercooked, because we don't want any problems this side. I'm actually sad because I found out the other day that, not that I can't have salami sticks, but it's better to stay away from them. It's especially in the first trimester. My doctor was very listen, we need to get our act together in the first trimester. You literally don't want any problems, so you need to be extra cautious of things. So maybe later in my pregnancy I can maybe now and then have salami sticks as a snack, but right now I'm just making the conscious decision to stay away from cured meats. I did get a pie today, a salami and cheese pie. I'm okay with that because the salami inside there is cooked, and it's not smoked or cured or anything like that. So I'm more than happy to have it because it is actually cooked. But when it comes to cold meats that are cured any other way besides cooking, I'm staying away from those. And then the next thing, I've actually been craving Sprite. I don't drink Sprite. And I actually don't want to be drinking soda again. I'm on the 75 what challenge. So what I have instead been having, and it's actually been helping a lot with the cravings for Sprite. And the funny thing is, the cravings don't feel like cravings. It just feels like or I'm thirsty, but I'm literally craving fizzy drinks, and I'm trying to again limit it. We're trying to get our body used to having to grow human organs and human limbs. And actually today my Flow app said that in the 5th week my baby's eyes are developing, so gotta make sure that my body's getting used to making eyes out of thin air, and making hair out of thin air, nose, ears, all of that stuff. So what I've been doing, instead of falling into the craving of Sprite and fizzy drinks, I have been having sparkling water, and then I put maybe 1 or 2 slices of lemon in there, and it's just the most refreshing, most delicious thing that I am enjoying right now. So when that craving for something fizzy comes, I opt for sparkling water instead of whatever fizzy drink I am craving. And then another thing that I found, and this is in the last 2 weeks or so, I have been experiencing extreme thirst, especially during the night. It's calmed down a little bit now because I find out I'm pregnant. I'm extra conscious on drinking water, but especially during the night I get super thirsty, so much so that my lips become so dry, okay, during the night. So like the thirst is on another level. It's extreme. I literally always have my Stanley next to me. I don't know how many of these bottles I finish in a day, but I'm constantly refilling this thing because I'm just chugging the water back. Another slight difference that I saw actually yesterday when I was getting unready is that my boobs have grown quite a little bit. My boobs have grown. They do feel a little bit heavier than they did like a few days before. So that's interesting. I mean, my boobs are already huge, so hopefully they don't like outgrow my body, but yeah, my boobs grew a little bit, so that's a little interesting. And then other than that, I don't have any other cravings. I don't have food aversions yet. I don't have food aversions yet, except for the fact that I can't eat like a full meal. Like I said, I have to break it up into little bits and pieces, and that's the way I eat, because if I'm too full, then I kind of feel like I don't feel that well. Do I feel nauseous? Only if I eat like a full meal, which is why I like avoid it. So I eat like little meals. Whenever I feel like eating, I eat little meals, and that is constantly like, I constantly want to be chewing, I constantly want to be eating. So yeah, I try as much as possible to eat something healthy. But yeah, sometimes you do want a chocolate, and I'm not really too strict about that. I mean, I had a chocolate earlier on, like a little lint ball. Normally I would finish the whole box, but I could only do one ball. And I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. Right. It could be the pregnancy, but it could be the fact that I haven't had sugar in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, in a long time. Anyways, when I found out that I am pregnant, I decided to go into Clicks to get this combo. Apparently this combo is goated when it comes to preventing the appearance of stretch marks. Obviously guys, if you're meant to have stretch marks, you will have stretch marks. Sometimes it's just genes, it's hereditary, and you can't run away from them. But people have said good things about this combo in like at least reducing the appearance of stretch marks. So I've started using this from day one. So I use it all over, like in my bust area, because I know that's gonna grow. I use it in my stomach, sides and back area. I also use it in between my thighs, because I feel like that's where stretch marks normally develop. So I got this, and I mean, so far so good. I can't really tell if it's working or not, but it feels good. It feels like a little pamper session in the morning and at the end of the day. And then another thing that I got today is it didn't fit on the screen. I got a pregnancy pillow. And this is the longer one. I think it's by Luna Kins. This is the longer version. Don't tell me it's dirty. Oh, that's just outside. This is the longer version, and it was quite a surprise when I was checking out. It was actually on special for $3.99. Normally it's $4.99. So I was quite happy about that. But yeah, like I said, I'm quite uncomfortable in bed lately. I need something to hold on to like this, and I need something in between my legs, and my pillows, shame bless their heart, they just not doing the job. So I decided to get myself a pregnancy pillow because I was watching pregnancy videos as one does, and the lady said that it's never too early to get a pregnancy pillow, and she wishes she had gotten hers much earlier. So I'm happy I got that. Oh, my belly, let's do a bump date. Let me show you what my belly looking like. Oh, another thing, before we see the belly, I'm quite bloated. Like 2 days ago I was like literally so bloated, and today it's actually a little bit better, but I'm actually quite bloated. This is all my stomach, just by the way. This is all bloat. This is all me. This is all me, Sana. None of the pregnancy yet. So yeah, this is what the tummy is looking like. It's all me. If I push it out, that's what it looks like. If I suck it in, that's what it looks like. So yeah, that's all me, by the way. It's not the pregnancy. I'll see you guys at my 5-week update. This is the week 5 update, and let me tell you guys, I've been through it all this week. Okay, so week 5 started off all nice and chill. Okay, a little mild nausea, but nothing to pay attention to because it would come and then it would immediately leave. And then it wouldn't come until like later on. Like it would come just a little bit when I'm hungry and then immediately leave once I've eaten. One thing that I really noticed like at the beginning of week 5 is I was so tired. So tired, more tired than last week. I was sleeping a lot more and sleeping for a longer period of time. So yeah, I was less like physically just tired all the time, physically just drained all the time. But in terms of nausea and all of that stuff, that didn't come until like day 3 into week 5, and it just hit me. Okay, everything was just making me like, and it was a constant nausea. Like it was so unbearable, you guys. Like so unbearable. I need time to give again doing it too. I just felt like something was coming up, and it felt like my food wasn't getting digested properly because my food was just sitting uncomfortably in my stomach, and I wasn't even eating that much, which is weird. And it was just sitting uncomfortably in my stomach, and it was just making me feel horrible. And the taste of water, I could not. Like, I tried to stay as hydrated as I can, but literally water tasted just, it was disgusting. Okay, it was so disgusting. Like I couldn't drink water, but I tried to because I know it's the right thing to do. And then I saw somewhere on TikTok University that as much as you should be drinking a lot of water, you should also like replenish your electrolytes. So I decided on top of the water, I was gonna now also drink like Energade or Powerade, just to help with the hydration and to restore my electrolytes. And that really helped me with especially the fatigue aspect of it. I wasn't feeling as sluggish, and I wasn't feeling as sick. And I found that this week I didn't want anything to do with like meat. The only meat that I ate was like mincemeat, and I made like mincemeat and like dry macaroni, and that was literally like so good. Like I finished my plate so quickly. That was a good meal this week. I was craving a lot of starch this week. Like I literally just wanted to eat rolls with nothing on them. Like literally just plain rolls was all I could stomach on Wednesday. Literally just plain rolls. And then eventually I got up to a point where I could actually stomach mincemeat, which was nice. But any other meat was just like not giving, not giving. Like you're gonna. And remember last week I was into fish, and for no one a fish. And for no one, just the mere thought of fish right now. Oh, oh, doesn't gap it. Like the mere thought of fish just makes me sick. Oh, I need to drink water. Unfortunately, drink. So this week's has been all about, the dry food and stuff like that. I also saw on the internet that ginger biscuits also help with nausea, and they really did. They really came in clutch this week. When I was going through my deepest nausea, literally ginger biscuits were there to help me, because I don't want to have too much sparkling water during this period, because as much as it's healthier than soda, but still like it's carbonated something. So I don't want to have too much of it because I don't want to get sick. I was watching a video ka Bonolo Monaisa, and she was also having a lot of sparkling water and lemon because it helps with the nausea. It really does. But she ended up in hospital with, I think, gastritis or something like that. So I really wanted to avoid that. So I didn't have it as regularly this week. I just tried out a whole lot of other things. Another thing that really helped me with my nausea is sour worms. Oh, ngaze ngasizeka. Sour worms. And also I know the other day I had a packet of Lay's balsamic vinegar, and those really helped me as well. So I think izinto sour really help with the nausea. And then the other day I had like just slap chips and a roll, and that was just like one of my favorite meals in general. But it was such a good meal to have. I actually think I had it yesterday. It was such a good meal because it was filling, and I felt like I can finally eat like a normal person. And yeah, so yeah, my diet changes every day. I'm not being too hard on myself. If you didn't know, I was doing 75 hard or 75 soft, and I've just sort of taken a break from that. So I'm not being too strict as to what I can and cannot eat. I'm just going to let my body govern what it needs at whichever time, which is why I was more than happy to have, starches this week. A good thing though about it is that the meal sizes that I'm taking in are a lot smaller, so I'm not overeating. So yeah, that's a good thing. So that is like the main thing about my 5th week, guys. It was a tough one, but we soldiered through, and now we are in week 6, and I'm feeling strong. Today is literally the first day where I feel like myself. Like I don't feel pregnant at all. I don't feel sick. I don't feel bloated. Oh, the bloating in week 5 was just on another level. Like I was bloated, like to such an extent that some of my jeans I couldn't button up. But it was just literally bloat. It wasn't like baby bump. My baby currently is the size of a watermelon seed, I think. Some sites say watermelon seeds, some sites say an orange seed, but just like it's literally so small. So it shouldn't have a bump as yet. So it's literally all bloat. And then I found a new app. So I'm no longer mainly tracking myself on Flow app, because they want you to pay like 1,000 rand for you to be able to read like deeper as to what's happening to your body. So I decided to download this other app called Pregnancy Plus, and it's really cool, you guys. It's so cool because it shows you like what the baby sort of looks like at the stage, and it also tells you, like, it compares to like fruit and vegetables. how big is your baby, what changes are going on in your body, what changes are going on in the baby's body. And then it just shows you like a video of what is happening inside your body, and it's absolutely just amazing. It's wild. It's wild. I still can't comprehend the whole procreation thing, because like, does my baby have a soul right now? Like, what is happening? Like, my mind just can't compute. There's just something supernatural about being able to make a human being with my body that I just can't wrap my head around. Like, I know the science behind it, I know the biology, but like, there has to be a little bit of magic sprinkled in there somewhere, because how am I making someone's brain as I'm sitting here? Like, how am I forming someone's heart? How am I forming someone's spine as I'm sitting here, like literally talking to you guys? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's just wild. But yeah, in any case, not much to update. For the 5th week, I was just sick. I was just sick. Hopefully the 6th week is going to give me a little bit of a break from the nausea. I did get new nausea tablets. Yeah, so I did get new medication from the doctor. From the pharmacy. They gave me nausea tablets. These are the nausea tablets that they gave me at Clicks. I've only had these once here, and they really helped. The pharmacist said that I should take them at night because they do cause drowsiness. But since then, I actually haven't been nauseous. Maybe they do work, because I had these 2 nights ago. And then yesterday I didn't have much nausea, and today I didn't have any nausea. So I guess they're working with too. And then I also got this from the pharmacy, Gaviscon. So I asked them, my doctor said whenever I go to the pharmacy, before I even introduce myself, I should say I'm pregnant. So that's literally what I did, and I ensured that they gave me like pregnancy safe medication. Do I get heartburn? I do now get heartburn, but I didn't get much heartburn in the last like week. But I think because I was having like more unhealthy foods this week, the heartburn sort of settled in. But I've only had this like once or twice in the last week, so I don't really have that much heartburn right now, but I know that it's a thing. So I don't want to be in a situation where I'm having heartburn and I don't have anything to use for it. So that is literally my week 5 wrap up. I will see you guys in week 6. We're halfway through our first trimester, and this is what happened in 6 weeks. Okay, 6 weeks forgave me a little bit, especially towards the beginning of my 6th week. I started off nice and fresh on Sunday. Didn't feel any symptoms until the evening time. And then it's just been, throughout the day, just being me, trying to fight the nausea with, my coping mechanisms. So in this week, I've sort of found the rhythm of how I am going to cope with nausea. So it's just been a case of like staying on top of the nausea. I haven't been as tired, but I found that if I do like overexert myself, then I do very much need a nap. So in the morning, I do get that little boost of energy, so I'm able to get a lot of my work done during those hours. I'm able to tidy up around the house, do a little bit of laundry, and then once it becomes like late afternoon, then I can like take my nap. So yeah, 6th week has been quite manageable, but at the tail end of it, I did find that the nausea was a lot more intense, especially at night, guys. The nausea can forgive me throughout the day, and then it just comes back in the evening with a vengeance. I have not thrown up yet. I have been blocking myself from throwing up. Like I said, I've come up with various coping mechanisms. So let me share those with you. Actually, what is helping me not get rid of the nausea, but like ride the wave of the nausea. So number one, the only food that I can stomach this week is literally dry food. So I've been having bread a lot. Bread for breakfast, bread for supper. I'm finding that I'm not really eating lunch because throughout the day I am snacking. So I'm probably having like one or two like actual meals a day. And all I ever want to eat is bread, like literally bread with nothing on it, rolls with nothing on it. And then I do add maybe like some chips in. I didn't have a lot of protein this week at all. I can't stomach meat. This, well, I can, but like it doesn't sound good. Like nothing sounds good to eat. The only thing that I'm always craving and I'm always up for, other than bread, is McDonald's chili cheese double. I can have that twice a day, every single day. That is my hyper fixation at the moment, but I'm trying not to have it like all the time. So if I had it yesterday, then I'll try not to have it today because I'm trying to, not gain a lot of weight. Because I have gained quite a bit of weight in preparation for carrying children. So I don't think I need to add any more weight because I feel like, I don't know, this is not scientific or biological at all. Don't take my word for it. But in my mind, I feel like I've gained enough weight to be able to carry a baby. And I don't need to be gaining that much more weight because I feel like the body that I have right now is sufficient in order to carry a baby. So that's just how it works in my head. But obviously I'm not depriving myself. The cravings aren't that strong anymore. The craving aren't that strong, but because I can't eat a lot of things, when I do feel like eating something like the chili cheese double, then I do indulge myself because as long as I'm eating, it's a win for me. And then the coping mechanisms that I've been talking about is number one, sour worms have really helped me. So when I have like a nauseous wave coming on, I'll pop in a sour worm and it will sort of like help me to be able to ride that wave, and help me feel a little bit okay. And then I also have ginger biscuits. They help me so much, but I'm also trying to not have too much of the ginger biscuits and the sweets because I'm nyongo, because that's gonna cause me to then throw up. So I do try to like see how severe the nauseous wave is, and then I intervene with my interventions. Another thing that that's really just saving my life is Apple Munch. Apple Munch, oh guys, whenever I'm feeling yabona pa in the evening when that wave comes, I just chew on Apple Munch, and it really helps with the nausea. And then what else am I using? I showed you guys my nausea tablets last week. I'm still using those. Oh, they are saving my life, but they do cause drowsiness. So I try to have them like ipsuk when I'm about to sleep, just as I'm about to sleep, and then I wake up like, oh, so refreshed. And then what else am I having? Ice cold water. Water is disgusting to me this week. I can't bring myself to drink water. Like water is so disgusting to me, like the taste. And then I saw on TikTok that people are having like ice cold water. So I tried to make my water as ice cold as possible, and it does help a little bit, but it just I feel like the water just sits weird in my body and it doesn't go through. Like it just sits in my stomach and I feel even worse. Like I feel like I want to throw up. So I'm trying to stay hydrated, but it's very, very difficult because water is just so disgusting to me. So yeah, when I'm finding that water is disgusting to me, I am substituting with Energade and Powerade, and that has worked for me so much, especially on the days where I have to go to work, like go into the office. It saves me so much. I always need to have an energy next to me or a Powerade next to me just to help with my hydration and my energy levels. I'm eating, another thing that I'm enjoying eating is pies right now, but not like meaty pies. I'm enjoying like your cheese and ham, cheese and bacon kind of pies. But I'm not eating a lot of those, like I said. I'm scared with the brown bread that I'm scared with the white bread that I'm eating so much that it's gonna cause constipation at some point. TMI. But like I said, a win is a win. If I can eat, I can eat. I think this week the baby is as big as a watermelon seed. Yeah, I think we still on the seeds. And then from next week, then it's gonna start being like fruits. I know next week the baby is gonna be the size of a blueberry. But right now, I think it's about the size of the watermelon seed, but my uterus apparently is the size of an orange. So yeah, that's interesting. But other than that, I've really like found my groove in the 6th week. I think I found my groove. We are at the halfway mark. As you know, a trimester is about 12 weeks. So I'm like exactly halfway through my first trimester, which apparently is the worst time period. So yeah, at the halfway point, I can say that I'm trying. I'm really trying to enjoy it, but I really am not enjoying it because I constantly feel sick. So it's like very difficult some days to enjoy it, and I don't know if anyone feels this as well. Like my mood is just like gray. Like I just feel like I've got a big gray cloud like on top of my head. Like I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm just like gray the whole time. I'm just like existing, trying to just make it through every single day. I'm not motivated to do anything, I'm not excited to do anything. Oh, am I gonna have a blocked nose now? Oh my gosh, I'm not excited to do anything. Like I've got YouTube videos that I filmed and edited and just posted, but haven't published yet. And even that just sounds like a chore to me. Like I couldn't be bothered to do like the final touches, adding the thumbnail and releasing the videos. So I have been deadbeat on my YouTube channel, and I just don't have motivation to create anything. I guess like this life that I'm creating is just taking over all of my creative juices. And I just couldn't be bothered. Like, I couldn't be bothered to come up with a TikTok video right now. I've got so many ideas that I'm supposed to be executing, like TikTok, Instagram. There's so many things that I want to share, like on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. I just couldn't be bothered because I'm consistently sick and I'm consistently just like gray all the time. But yeah, that's literally about it. I forgot to give you guys a bump date last week, so I'm going to give you guys one now. Nothing has changed. I'm not showing yet. Let me take my let me take this belt off. It's so yeah, this is literally just me still. So no bump to report yet. The bloating has gone down significantly, so I can fit into some of my jeans again. But because my uterus is expanding, I think it's about time that I start thinking about, maternity clothes, which is crazy to say, but yeah, I might need, especially like pants. Like I've got a lot of dresses and a lot of skirts in my wardrobe, like this skirt. I'll probably be able to wear, even if I have like a big I'm trying to push my stomach out. Even if I have a big stomach, I'll probably be able to wear my skirts. But in terms of like my jeans and stuff, I do need to start looking. I saw on TikTok that a lot of people are getting their maternity jeans from H&M, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna maybe wear normal jeans and just size up, because I don't know, maternity jeans and the maternity clothes are just not giving. Like, they're not cute at all. Like zivuka vuka. Like, if you get what I mean. Like, they're so frumpy, and I don't want to feel frumpy. I still want to feel cute. I still want to feel like the girl that I am. I don't want to hide my bump at all. So yeah, I might just, buy clothes sized up, and instead of like buying like strictly maternity clothing. But I know in terms of pants, I do need the ones with the maternity band to help me at least be able to, be comfortable. That's about it for week 6. We're halfway through, and next week I'll see you guys for the second half of my first trimester. I know, I skipped a week, but when you go, guys, like week 7, I didn't give a week 7 update because, number one, this week I just lost feelings for everything. Like, honestly, I didn't feel like filming, so I didn't, and that's about it. But otherwise, there was nothing major to report, really. Hope you guys can hear me. It's raining. There was nothing major to report. The symptoms were all the same, and the symptoms were basically all the same. I think I was a little bit more tired, and I think it's because I'm just tired of being sick, man. Like, I'm just tired of, always finding ways to combat nausea and all that stuff. Like, I'm literally out and about, and I've got bits of bread with me. But yeah, it was 7 weeks was just literally me just being over everything. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful to be pregnant, but Sana, really, like, all the time? Like, do I have to be sick all the time? Like, I get it, like, I get the point. I'm pregnant and I'm happy about that, but do I really have to be sick all the time? So I was just like really feeling down in the dumps. In week 7, just like, like, yeah. Anyways, week 8 has been a little brutal as well. I've been sick, I've been tired, but at least I've been able to do work, as much work as I can, at least. But yeah, we're 2 months in. Crazy. We're 2 months in, and we've got 1 more month of the first trimester, and I hope it will only get better from there onwards, because I cannot do 9 months of this. 9 months of nausea. Oh, big thing happened yesterday. I puked for the first time, but I think it was more inyongo because it was like yellow stuff, like bitter yellow stuff. So yeah, that was a little traumatic, but it wasn't too bad. I just don't like throwing up
So that's why it was traumatic for me. So yeah, I threw up yesterday. I actually started feeling better afterwards. Like I felt relieved. So that's how I know, but it was probably inyongo and not pregnancy. And then my survival this week, Schweppes baby, you will forever be famous, because this has really been helping with the nausea. And thank you for that. And I'm eating a lot more. Gotta go. It's been a while since my last update. I think the last time I updated you guys was at 8 weeks. And I'm currently 12 weeks. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the hell that I have been through. The past few weeks, the last leg of my first trimester has felt like my own personal hell, okay? And I think compared to other people, I didn't have it as bad, but it was a shock to my system, ne? So week 9, week 10, week 11, it was like the kicks of a dying horse, okay? I was still very much nauseous every day except on Sundays. I can't eat anything. I mean, the worst part about it is the heightened sense of smell. And not only that, but literally everything and everyone smells bad, and it makes me want to gag. It makes me gag. And I hate that, because it's a consistent battle. It's been a consistent battle of trying not to throw up, okay? The first time that I really threw up, like for real, like violently, this is TMI, was around week 10. So in week 10, I don't know how I survived week 10, because I was traveling for my job. I was in George for some time, drove down from George, was in PE for some time, I drove to East London for some time. And when I got to East London, this is all like in a row, okay? When I got to East London, I was so happy because I could eat. Me and my team, we had lunch at Jules and Jarvis, and the food was great. And I was happy that I could stomach something, because the previous 2 days I couldn't really eat much. I didn't want to eat much because I was on the road, I was traveling. Yeah, well, so I'd eat a little bit, and then I'd have my little dry lemon just to keep things down. Yeah, well, but for the most part, I didn't want to eat anything, I didn't want to drink anything, because I didn't want to get sick on the road, like while traveling. And just a side note, convenience stores, they are the bane of my existence, because I don't know, for some reason, like when I enter a convenience store, like immediately I just want to throw up, because it smells so bad, especially the ones that apokupekwa khona. Another thing that smells bad is cooking. Like, we no longer cook in this house. We either have to have food ready made, or I have to get, those frozen ready to heat meals. So that's what we've been living off, takeaways, frozen meals, already prepared meals, because if someone cooks in this house, like, and we call right the whole time, it just makes the house smell bad.
And even if you open all the windows and all the doors, and the smell, especially if there's onions involved, oh, can't do it. So yeah, I was in East London, had my Jules and Jarvis. I was happy. I was like, ooh, and I finished that meal. And this was like the first time that I'd finished a meal in a long time. Like chips, burger, had a milkshake. I was happy. Went back to the hotel, and the food wasn't digesting. And you can feel when the food is not digesting. It was literally just sitting on top of my stomach. And I tried everything to get the food to, digest and everything. I took a nap. And then when I woke up from my nap, I had to run to the bathroom, and I violently vomited everything that I had for lunch, breakfast, dinner the previous night. So yeah, that wasn't fun, especially for me. Like I said, I don't like throwing up because it's traumatic for me. Like for the longest time, I've never liked ukugapa. For me, this was like super traumatic. And okay, TMI. But luckily after that, I felt relieved, I felt better, but I felt hungry. And luckily I still had a little food. I didn't finish my food. I had half of my burger, I think. Yeah, I had half of my burger, all of my chips. So I still had my other half of my burger. And then obviously, because my stomach is now empty, I had the other half of my burger. But then yeah, I immediately started feeling nauseous again because it was just not sitting right. But I didn't vomit after that. Yeah, so that happened. And then I think a few days later, I think I vomited once in week 10 and then twice in week 11, which was last week. But I think by last week it wasn't as bad because I knew that I was going to be relieved. So I just let myself vomit instead of keeping it down and feeling horrible the whole time. So I just let myself throw up when I needed to throw up. And yeah, it did provide relief for some time, but it was disgusting. Whew, I don't want to think about it now. But yeah, so that was that. It's making me feel sick talking about it. So let's move on from that because it's making me feel sick just thinking about it. The things that got me through are like minty chewing gum, really helped. Sour sweets, dry lemon, and water. I can now drink water, but it has to be like super cold. And just not eating, like going back to dry foods again. That's just what I have to do. And yeah, the fatigue is also real. I need to take multiple naps a day. I've been needing to take multiple naps a day. So it does get, quite tiring, especially if I'm at the office, because I will feel so drowsy, so drowsy. Like I'd catch myself nodding off sometimes, like, oh girl, you're awake. So that has been equally as hellish. But other than that, everything is pretty much good. I'm just lazy to do anything. And then something interesting that I didn't know, I knew that you would be averse to foods, but I didn't know that you'd be averse to things as well. Like for me, for the longest time, I've been averse to social media and YouTube, which is crazy. So I haven't been able to watch YouTube for about 2 months now. I haven't been able to get on TikTok and Instagram because those things make me literally want to vomit. They give me the ick. I've been able to do Facebook, but I don't really enjoy Facebook. I've been able to do X, but I don't really enjoy X because abantu bane thoughts. People have too many thoughts. And sometimes it's just a Debbie Downer. So I don't like going on those, but they're the only ones that don't give me the ick. It's my own personal hell, you guys. So as such, I have not been able to film anything because also that gives me the ick. So I got these beautiful lights recently. I got lights, I got a stand, like a tripod, I got freaking mics, and I haven't been able to explore and use them because I just get the ick with anything that has to do with YouTube, anything that has to do with content creation. Like I'm just ew. Like literally ew. So I'm probably not going to film anything for the rest of the year. Just for context, as I'm filming this, it's October 13th of October. So I don't think I'm gonna film anything for the rest of the year. I'm not gonna do any Christmas content. Excuse me. I'm not gonna do any Christmas content. I don't know, depending on how I'm feeling. I also have a lot of burps right now. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might come back in January. Who knows? I'm playing it by ear. I'm just really focused on growing this baby and, you know, preparing for what is to come and just focusing on my new job. Like there's just too many new things in my life all at once. So I've just sort of forgiven myself and been like, it's okay if I can't create content right now. It's okay if I can't show up. And I know that people are probably disappointed because I did meet some of the people who watch me and they were like, we miss you. When are you posting? And all I could say is, yo guys, I'm sick. I was at an event, a chartered accountant, African woman chartered accountants event the other day, and I was literally like, yo guys, I'm sick. I probably won't film anything for the longest time, like for the rest of the year. But we'll see how second trimester goes. Hopefully my strength comes back. But yeah, right now I only have capacity to do my job and, you know, put an effort there and just look after my health and just try and see like how I'm gonna feed this family, because no one like can't cook in this house, so I have to be very creative with the meals. So that's literally my focus right now: family and health and work and just getting my mind ready for when the baby comes. And then I was supposed to have a scan roundabout this week, right? This week, next week or something, sometime soon. But there was a mix-up at my GP's office, which I was mad about, but I kind of let it go because, I don't know, Holy Ghost just whispered to me, Mana, you can't control everything. Things will happen how God intends it to happen. So what happened is that, you know, I literally went to the doctors on like literally the earliest. I was 4 weeks when I went to the doctors. I was 4 weeks when I took bloods to confirm my HCG levels, and then like a month or two went by and I hadn't heard anything from the doctor's office. So I checked like the lab, because they also like publish the results on their online platform. I logged in and I saw my results are back, and I saw, okay, it's confirmed my HCG is high. My HCG is double what it's supposed to be at 4 weeks, so I might be carrying twins, or it just means that I've got a lot of HCG, which is good, which increases the chances of me being able to carry the baby to term. But yeah, HCG is healthy. So I knew about, okay, she pregnant or whatever. But I was supposed to be phoned by the doctor's office so that we can arrange with the OBGYN. So I'm like, no man, why are they not calling? Because it's definitely been 2 months since those results have been published. So I called them and I was like, I haven't heard anything, and I see that the results are there. First of all, the results, I don't know why, but there was a mix-up. They're not in my folder. She logged onto the labs online and she can see that the results came in long ago. And then she said she phoned me, and I said I'm gonna arrange my own gynae or whatever. And I was like, you definitely did not call me. I've been waiting for you guys to call me, and you're not gonna gaslight me into saying that you called me and this is what I said, because that is the direct opposite. Because doctor and I had spoken that I want him to recommend a gynae for me that works well with him, blah 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 blah. Yanin's son. I was so annoyed. But yeah, they ended up booking me an appointment with this other male gynae, and I know male gynaes, they're quite good and all of that, but this is my first experience with, you know, pregnancy and all of that stuff, and I just feel more comfortable with, you know, a female gynae. Even better if it's a black female gynae, because I just feel like I'll just feel safer. It's like peace of mind. Yeah, well, don't want to go all deep into it, but I'll feel safer. So, but I didn't say that to her. I said, would you mind please booking me rather a female gynae? I think I'll be more comfortable, yeah, well, because I want to be babied through this, okay? I want to be babied through this whole process. So she was like, oh no, that's fine. So she then booked me this black lady, which I'm happy with, because when I was looking for OBs, gynaes, she's the first one that popped up, and she's got like 5-star reviews. The reviews are great. So I've heard great things about this particular doctor, and yeah, and she's in my medical aid network and all of that stuff, so I'm happy about that. So my appointment is at the end of November now, and by then I'll probably be like 18 weeks, so we're just basically halfway. So I was rather nervous about that, but you know what, everything happens the way that it's supposed to happen, the way that it's supposed to unfold, and it's even a miracle that she's taking me so far along. But I'm just going to trust the process, and just the chips will fall wherever they fall. So I'm looking forward to that. So my scan is going to be next month, and it's a little later than I would like, but you know what, it's okay. Then the last thing I want to speak about is the massage lotion that I was using before. You saw was from Clicks. It was working well, I liked it, but then the smell, I just couldn't do the smell. It gave me the absolute ick, which then meant that I was skipping days, and as you know, when it comes to like stretch marks or anything that has to do with skin, consistency is the actual key more than the product. So I was being inconsistent because it was literally giving me the ick. Like the smell was disgusting. At that point, at the beginning it was fine, but when my hormones started kicking in, I couldn't do it. So I got this one now. This is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula with vitamin E massage oil for stretch marks. So this one's also nice and thick, and it doesn't smell like anything, which I'm so happy about. So this one, I'm actually liking it. The consistency, I'm actually liking it more than the other one, because the other one would sort of like, you'd apply it and it would like disappear, like dry up or be matte. But this one leaves me feeling moisturized. So yeah, so I'm using this with combination with the magnolia oil from Bramley that I showed you guys earlier on in this video. So that's basically it. And because I am not on social media, I do need to fill my time with something other than series. So I picked up Bumi's book. I love Bumile Dwaba. I love me some Bumile Dwaba. You can never make me hate Umbumi. So I will always support a black woman out there trying. And Sana, I'm almost halfway through the book and I resonate so much with her. Like a lot of the things, like the invasive thoughts that she had when she was growing up, I had very much the same thoughts and the same thinking and the same, like I relate to a lot of what she's saying in this book. So I've really enjoyed just reading this. How did we get here? A girl's guide to finding herself. Like I love it. It's like speaking to a gal pal. The way she's written it, it's so easy to read. It's like just friends catching up, you know, dishing. And yeah, she does speak about some heavy things, but I love how she's done it and how she's opened up and has been honest about, you know, a lot of things that have happened in her life. And I really do relate and resonate with a lot of the things that she experienced while growing up. I could say we've lived a similar life. We've lived a similar life. We've had similar experiences, and it's just cool to get to know more about one of, you know, my favorite people. But yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. We finally made it to 12 weeks. And yeah, I'm so grateful. People say that at least when you're done with your first trimester, 12 weeks, you're out of the woods. But you know what? Every day is in God's hands, and I'm just praying hard for the baby, praying hard for myself, for my health, for everything to be okay. But we're at 12 weeks. We still look the same. This is still all me. I am bloated today, but this is still very much me. So I'm still wearing a lot of my old clothes, well, all of my old clothes. I did buy some new dresses the other day from H&M. They're not maternity specific or anything, but I bought them in my normal size, and they were quite big for me, but hopefully as time goes on I will grow into them. But yeah, not showing yet, not feeling anything besides gross. But today I'm feeling good. It's a Sunday. I'm feeling good. Sundays are usually my favorite days because It means no nausea, no exhaustion. The Lord's Day is my favorite day because I don't get sick on Sundays. But as far as everything else goes, I am well and I am grateful. My mental health is intact, the right man for the most part. Financially, I'm okay. Mental health wise, I'm good. Spiritually, I'm getting better, getting out of the trenches. So I can say I'm good. I feel like myself again a little bit. And hopefully second trimester is going to be as good as people say it is. I'm praying, I'm hoping for the glow. For the glow, for all the good things. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye.